Hey everybody, this is Edujo and welcome to another video in my series on algorithms, specifically Bubblesort. This is now the third video and we are now going to start coding the videos. As you saw in video 1, I showed you how the Bubblesort works, and then in video 2 I showed you how the flag using the Boolean values true and false, how that works. So in Python we're now going to start coding. It's always good just to have the comments all the way through when you're coding. So I'm going to say Bubblesort and I'm going to say Edujo, and then I like to put in brackets. I like to put in the date. So today is the 1st of May 2017, and then we can start with the coding. So first of all I need some sort of a list, so I'm going to have a name list. I'm just going to call it name. In Python we call it a list or an array. You recognize a list and array by having the square brackets. So I'm just going to add a few names. So how many do I have there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I'll just add maybe one more. So we got 6 there. So I'm going to have names instead of the numbers or the cards and so on, so you can just see how it works. You can use string or numbers. So I'm going to say Zoe, and then I'm going to say Hank. Then I can use something maybe like Alfie, just to get some A there. What else can I use? I can use maybe Mike. I can also go for George, just to get them alphabetical, and then I'll use another one, maybe Ben. So I can use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Anyway, so that's my list that I want to use Bubblesort for. Just so you know, and you can actually see the actual sort, I'm just going to print the list. So if I just run this so you can see what I mean by that, I'm just going to say I'm going to call this Bubblesort, and I'm just going to call it Bubblesort for YouTube, so it doesn't know what it's for. And then when I run it, you can see there's our list, Zoe, Hank, Alfie, Friend, and so on. So we've got our list like that. So I'm just going to close that now, and then we can continue. It's good to check, so I know my code works up to now. Right, now we need to set our flag. So the flag is going to be a Boolean value, and I'm going to make it true to start off with, and I'm going to enter, and this is the variable that is has a Boolean value of true, and this variable will be set to false just before we start to actually go through our Bubblesort, just like I explained in video number 2. So we're going to use a while loop. So while the flag is, you can't say while true, I'm just going to say while flag, remember the double equals in Python, whoops, there we go. So while the flag is true, remember your colon, otherwise you get an error. So while the flag, the value of the flag is equal to true, then we're going to keep running this until eventually we've gone through the whole thing. But before we start to actually sort through our list, we have to set our flag to false. Remember in video 2 I explained why. So we're going to set it to false, and then we can start our Bubblesort. We're going to use a for loop for this one. So for I in range, I'm going to open. How long is our range? Our range is going to be the length of our list minus 1. So we're going to say length of our list, and it's going to be minus 1 colon. Right, why minus 1? Because we are checking those two, item 1 and 2, then we'll be checking 2 and 3, 3 and 4, 4 and 5, and then 5 and 6. But there's nothing to compare the last one to over here. So once you have the highest one here, we don't actually have to compare that one to anything, because the highest one will be there. So we need to take 1 from our list. So that's why we have minus 1 over there. Right. And then we're going to use an if statement to start to compare our values of our items, which we're going to use this little integer over there. That's what we're going to use that's for. So we're going to say if names, and we're going to look at specifically the first one. Can I just say, in a list or in an array, this is position 1, but that is also known as index 0. That is position 2, but index 1, index 2, and so on. So we will eventually start this with 0, and 0 will be our first one, and we're going to compare that. Is that greater? So if that one is greater than that one, so we're going to just do that, I plus 1. So what we are saying, if the first item is greater than the second item, then we have to do something. We need to swap them around. So we need to create a temporary variable that is equal to names, specifically I, whatever that one is, and the first time we go around it's going to be 0, then 1, 2, and so on. So we're going to have to just set a temporary variable and make that one equal to our temporary variable. Then we're going to take our names and the first item, which is index 0, and we're going to set that equal to the second one, which is I plus 1. So we compared those two. If this one is greater than that one, we're going to set the temporary variable to that one, and then we're going to change that to the second one, but we also need to just change the second one to the first one. So we're going to say names I plus 1, and we need to set that equal to our temporary variable. So that will conclude our swap. And then if a swap was made, as you can see there, we've got if names is greater than one more, so let's say that's item 1 and 2. If that one is greater, we need to swap them by setting the temporary variable equal to the first item, and then setting the first item equal to the second item, and then setting the second item equal to the first item again, so that we've completed our swap. And if we do make a swap, we have to set our flag back to true, and that will then show us that the swap has been made. And then all we need to do now is to print it out. So I'm just going to say print, and when I say print out, we mean the list of names, and then we should see our list, which is currently unsorted. There we will see our unsorted list, and hopefully we'll see our sorted list here using the Bubblesort. So let me just run that, and there we have it. So we got Zoe, Hank, Alfie, Mike, George, and Ben, and then Alfie, Ben, George, Hank, Mike, Zoe, nicely sorted in the right order. What you don't see is the actual bubbling, how Zoe actually got to that side, and so on. So in the next video, I will show you exactly how that works in our code. I'll put a few prints in so you can see exactly how that works, so you can see when it's true, when it's false, when it's swapping, and how the names are sorted in the right order. So thank you for watching this third video. So we got 1 or 2 videos to come just to complete the explanation of Bubblesort. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.